like
Check one. Hello, check one. Check one.
Yep. You know, guys, that was not part of our graduation practice this morning, was it? Hey, I want to say hello and welcome to Santan Foothills High School and our graduating class of 2023. Let's give them a round of applause. On behalf of the staff and students here at Santan Foothills, welcome to all of our distinguished guests here on stage with me, our families and community members joining us in person, and those families who are joining us via our live stream. It is an honor to host each and every one of you for tonight's ceremony. Before we begin, we'd like to take a moment to honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Here to perform the Star-Spangled Banner, please welcome the Santan Foothills Concert Band under the direction of Mr. Robert Aguilar. Seniors, you may be seated. It's probably one of the most unique beginnings to a graduation ceremony that I've had. I want to say thank you to the concert band for that performance of the Star-Spangled Banner. In addition, I'd just like to recognize concert band as the students were walking out to the to Pomp and Circumstance tonight. Because of the number of graduating seniors, the band did not have enough members to play Pomp and Circumstance, but that was our Santan Foothills concert band playing tonight. They just pre-recorded it prior to the ceremony. So let's give a round of applause to the concert band for Pomp and Circumstance and the Star Spangled Banner. And now I'd like to introduce Student Body President Bo Cotherman for the opening remarks.
My name is Bo Cotherman, and I am the Student Body President. It is an honor to be here to speak with everyone at the graduation ceremony tonight. Thank you to the Florence Unified School District Governing Board, the FUSD District Office, the Santan Foothills staff, and all of the parents here in person and joining us via live stream, and of course, all of the students who worked so hard to get here. I would like to take a moment to introduce some of our honored guests on stage tonight. Please join me in welcoming Miss Tommy Quist, Florence Unified School District Governing Board President. Miss Denise Erickson, Florence Unified School District Assistant Superintendent. Miss Catherine Koch, Florence Virtual Academy Senior Teacher. Mr. Juan Carlos Lopez, Mountain Vista Academy Teacher. Mr. Alvin Barnes, Mountain Vista Academy Teacher. Thank you for your continued commitment to our community and, of course, to Santan Foothills High School. I would like to take a moment to recognize all of what the class of 2023 has accomplished here at Santan Foothills High School. I was given the honor of representing our school as Student Body President this year. My number one focus coming into this role was to make people see how great Santan Foothills High School was. This would only be possible with the support of the entire student body. To get that support, we needed seniors who were ready to step up and lead by example. As I look at this group tonight, I see hard-working and passionate men and women who have led our school to becoming something great. As we look back on some of our accomplishments, we had 3 different sports teams, football, boys soccer, and baseball, reach the state bracket playoffs this year. Our spirit line continues to place at the state and national level. Then, as we look at our individual competition sports like wrestling, golf, track, and many more, we had numerous athletes represent Santan Foothills High School in state competitions. We had clubs like FBLA and HOSA who not only had competitors place at the state level, but also had members heading to international competitions later this summer. Our fine arts programs never cease to amaze us, from our band, dance, and theater clubs, who continue to put on wonderful performances. Our student council put on some of the greatest events our school has ever seen. None of this, however, would be possible without the support of our staff and administration. But most of all, this was made possible by each and every one of you sitting out on this field tonight. So I would like to say thank you. We can no longer be seen as just some school behind the mountain. We are Santan Foothills High School, a place for greatness. And now, possibly the most important part of high school, I would like to bring up academic success. But rather than speak about academics, we'd like to recognize 2 students who will be starting the next journey of their lives by being recognized for their outstanding academic achievements. Here to introduce the class of 2023 salutatorian and valedictorian, Santan Foothills Principal, Mr. Steve Miller.
Thank you, sir. So as Bo mentioned, here at Santan Foothills, we're very fortunate to have so many amazing students. and it's now my honor to personally recognize two of the top performing students in the class of 2023. First, I would like to recognize the salutatorian for the graduating class of 2023, Tristan Lopez. Tristan completed his senior year with an impressive 4.649 weighted GPA, having taken a total of 11 advanced placement courses throughout high school. Tristan's academic accomplishments began long before high school, where as an 8th grade student, he enrolled in honors geometry and honors biology. As early as his sophomore year of high school, Tristan took AP Human Geography, AP Seminar, and AP Biology. And this year, 5 of Tristan's 6 classes were advanced placement, including AP Psychology, AP Statistics, and AP Chemistry. While accomplishing all of this, Tristan was a member of the varsity basketball and varsity golf teams. After graduation, Tristan will be attending Arizona State University, having earned the Provost Scholarship as he pursues a degree in applied biological sciences. Please join me in congratulating the 2023 salutatorian, Tristan Lopez. Next, I would like to recognize 2023 Santan Foothills High School valedictorian. Please welcome this year's #1 ranked graduate, Caitlin Evans. Caitlin is the recipient of the Valedictorian Award for the 2023 school year with a weighted GPA of 4.703, attaining this impressive title by only 0.05 of a point. Caitlin also began her academic journey back in middle school when she also took honors geometry and honors biology prior to her enrollment in high school. Throughout her educational career here at Foothills, Caitlin took such challenging courses as AP Human Geography her sophomore year, AP US History and AP Calculus her junior year, and AP English Literature, AP Economics, and AP Chemistry her senior year. In addition, Caitlin was a member of the Unified Basketball team, assisting our athletes as they competed throughout the 2023 Unified season. Her hard work and dedication to academics and unprecedented commitment to making Santan Foothills a better place has made her a worthy recipient of recognition as the Santan Foothills 2023 valedictorian. Congratulations once again, Caitlin Evans. Once again, I want to congratulate both Tristan and Caitlin on their incredible academic achievements, but in addition, recognize every senior sitting out here tonight who also accomplished something great by completing the high school course of study. As we prepare to personally hear from some of these amazing seniors who will reflect on their time here at Santan Foothills, we ask you to please turn your attention to the Santan Foothills Concert Band as they perform Burlesque for Band, composed by Claire Grudman and directed by Santan Foothills Band Director, Mr. Robert Aguilar. Thank you to the Santan Foothills Concert Band for that performance. I could see your sheet music blowing in the wind over there. I think you guys did a really good job with that. And now it's my pleasure to introduce two students who will offer their thoughts and remarks on their senior year. At this time, I would like to welcome Santan Foothills senior Haley Arambulis to the stage. You got this. You gotta start right here, and you got this, kiddo.
Class of 2023, open your books to Chapter 1 and please follow along. July 2019 is where our story begins. Walking into Rodriguez's class, pulling down that Sabercat spirit, and trying to avoid all of Blackwell's band recruits. Next, turn the page to Chapter 2, working from home. Struggling to maintain our grades while also struggling to keep our heads up during all of Mr. Weens' Google Meets. Luckily, in Chapter 3, back on schedule, we return to the place where we can go to the restroom only to be greeted by swarms of people and desks hanging from the projectors thanks to our previous senior class. Now reaching Chapter 4, the coming back year. Winning the Gila River Bowl along with cheer, HOSA, and FBLA all going to nationals. Both soccer and baseball making it to playoffs. And finally, us becoming one of the top schools within our district. We've come back stronger than ever, not only as individuals, but as Sabercats. We're here standing today celebrating the one thing we all have in common. The one thing everyone kept pushing us to do. The real question is, what do I do now? Where do I go from here? Well, it's okay to not know, to not understand, or to not have it figured out. I look around this astonishing group of individuals and see peers I've worked on assignments with, laughed with, and some I've never even dared to talk with. I see friends I've grown apart from since middle school, but the memories are still never forgotten. But most importantly, I see hope. Hope for the future that each and every one of us standing here today can create a brighter future for not only ourselves, but for the others around us. Hope that we can learn from our mistakes and lead by example. Don't get caught up with titles such as valedictorian, jock, or student council. These are just titles in the story that you're writing. High school has been a roller coaster of emotions for us all. Instead of sulking around in the past, why don't we all make way for the future? Chapter 5 is still yet to be written. It's now up to you to finish this story. So, wherever your pencil may take you, remember, you're the author, editor, and main character of your own story. Make sure to turn the pages for the next wild ride of your life. Buckle up and always remember, Santan Foothills was and is in fact a place for greatness. This is a fellow Sabercat signing off.
Thank you, Haley, for sharing your thoughts on your senior year. Each student sitting out here was impacted by the challenges of high school in a different way. Here to give remarks about her senior year and the impact that it had, please welcome our next student guest speaker, Alyssa Chavez. I got it correct this time too, so it's not even the wrong one. Thank you.
Every day we make up to 30,000 decisions. Today, I want you all to make a decision. Starting out as just little curious and timid freshmen, working our way up to be soon-to-be college students, athletes, artists, and even hardworking employees. And though some of us may still be undecided, that's okay. This is, of course, one of the most significant decisions you'll have to make. Our entire high school career, we've all been asked the same question. So what are you going to do after high school? To be honest with you all, I've always hated this question. I mean, why ask some 14 or 15-year-old what they want to do with the rest of their lives? I mean, most of us could barely wake up on time for our classes, let alone during that COVID era, but I digress. The pressure and crippling fear of having to decide what to do with the rest of our lives slowly crept in on us these past 4 years. And though we try to distract ourselves with our amazing pep assemblies, fight week, spirit week, time never really stopped. And now that our time in high school is coming to an end, is now necessarily the time to decide? Life is all about making decisions, learning along the way, adapting, and moving forward. And truly, that's the beauty of it all, the impermanence of many of the decisions you'll be making today. Whatever path you choose to take in life, no matter what it may be, just know that you have the power to change it and you are not defined by it. This day, your graduation, is the beginning of a lifelong learning lesson in which you'll make many permanent and impermanent decisions. So today, I want you all to make an important decision. To decide to give it your all in everything you do. To decide to dream big and chase after what you want. To decide to do something you enjoy and something that'll bring you lifelong happiness. Whatever that happy thing may be, whether it's working a job you love, starting a new business, exploring your ideas, or becoming more involved in sports, don't let yourself be the barrier between you and that one decision that can change your life. Santan Foothills, my graduating class of 2023, with the experience and knowledge and skills that we've gained from this time here, let us all make that important decision and graduate from this place of greatness onto our path of success. Thank you. I would now like to invite Mr. Steve Miller, Santan Foothills Principal, back to the podium.
Thank you once again to our outstanding student speakers, our Santan Foothills Concert Band, our FUSD Governing Board, District Administration, and everybody joining us here tonight. Of course, this night wouldn't be possible without the dedicated teachers and staff members who were along for the ride this entire journey. So at this time, I ask that our Santan Foothills teachers and staff please stand to be recognized. You know, it was about 3 years ago that I arrived on campus back in November of 2021. This group of students was in the middle of their sophomore year of high school. And more than any other sophomore class that I've ever worked with in my career, this group has always stood out. They were more involved in high school than your average group of students. They participated in spirit days and school activities more than your average group of students. They organized dances, they showed up to athletic events. They showed school spirit that is rare to see in underclassmen. And thinking back to what Alyssa and Haley mentioned back in their remarks, it wasn't always this way. Sometimes we had school closures, sometimes there were periods of online learning. It all seems like it was ages away, but in reality, that was just this class's sophomore year. As the years progressed, these students became juniors, and it was clear that the momentum wasn't slowing down. School spirit increased in 2022. We had some of the most insane spirit days I've ever been a part of. And anybody who's been on campus for anything but a backpack day can attest to the creativity and spirit of the students sitting out in front of me. Participation in our athletic and arts program began to increase. Enrollment in challenging upper-level classes like AP Chemistry and AP US History grew by more than 70% from the previous year. And this campus got better. And you know what the most interesting part about that was? That was the class of 2023's junior year. They still had an entire year to go. So earlier back in April, I was sitting in my office and I was having a conversation with a couple of the assistant principals, and we were talking about why I personally love being at Santan Foothills. And while I admit I'm a little bit biased here, I feel like this is the best high school in all of Pinal County. During that conversation, we began to talk about all the things from this year alone that I was proud of. All the things that this senior class had a hand in. And all throughout the entire discussion, I thought of so many accomplishments that this class has achieved that I felt like I needed to write them down because I was worried if I didn't, some of them would slip through the cracks and be forgotten. So I looked at this list while I was writing this speech. And here's what my notepad said. Starting with our athletic programs, our football team won the Gila River Bowl Trophy for the first time in school history, capping off a 7-3 season with an overtime thriller of a game that ended with a 20-17 victory over Florence High School. That led to a state playoff appearance. It also led to Coach Mike Carlin being recognized as the 3A Coach of the Year by Varsity Breakdown. Then I thought about our cheer team. Our cheer team competed both within the state and national tournaments. In the state of Arizona, our show cheer placed 5th and game day cheer placed 3rd. This cheer team was so dedicated and so successful that they traveled to Anaheim, California to compete against teams nationally. And in Anaheim, our students didn't disappoint. Led by this group of seniors, game day cheer placed 4th in the nation and POM placed 5th in the nation. Back in 2022, our Santan Foothills softball season was canceled because there wasn't enough interest in our program to field a team. And this team supports so many of our girls, but this team, made up of so many first-time players, averaged 11 runs per game across the entire season, and this senior class brought back the softball team that was missing in 2022. We made a significant investment into a new practice facility. Anybody who's been a part of the school knows that our current practice field is called the basement. It's an excellent place to practice, unless it rains. When it rains, it takes on its secondary role of water retention basin. This makes practices challenging in the winter, but with this investment into the appropriately named attic field, our student athletes have a place to practice that's much more accessible, and as a bonus, it beautifies a portion of our campus that was previously just a desert. And we were proud to have our first ever state champion in individual track and field, with Demirian Person placing 1st in the state for long jump and recognized as the Division IV Arizona state champion in track. And athletics wasn't the only place this group of students excelled. They also excelled in the arts. Theater put on an amazing musical, Disney's The Descendants, in a 2-day performance that drew in hundreds of people from not only the school but the surrounding community. For the first time ever, the sound and light were all directed by students, and the music was produced by the students. From a custom-made production booth that was constructed with the help of our strong community partnership with the Arizona Department of Corrections. Our dance team took advantage of the new Marley dance floor installed in their studio, putting on 2 high-quality full-length dance concerts throughout the year. In December, presenting the fun and lighthearted Christmas-themed concert filled with upbeat holiday classics, and the more recent Ladies' Night theme that was performed only 2 weeks ago in May. And then stepping outside of the arts, if you look at academics, the school committed to the Advancement via Individual Determination Program, or AVID, an academic program that focuses on college and career readiness, exposing students to post-secondary opportunities through college visits, and help students become leaders as they become mentors for younger students. And as we talk about what this group of students sitting out in front of us has accomplished in college and career readiness, you'll see why that's such an important program. Our foreign language department expanded from offering only courses in Spanish to including French and Japanese. This expands our ability to integrate more opportunities into our academic programs and looking at college readiness, since so many universities have language courses as a prerequisite for entry. Our robotics team exemplified the commitment to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, as throughout this year they took home a first place design award, first place in innovation, first place in the Inspire Award, and placed 4th in the State of Arizona First Technology Challenge. Future Business Leaders of America was recognized again as one of the top programs in Arizona. This program prepares students to lead in business and beyond, and gives students the skills and confidence to excel outside of school in cybersecurity, graphic design, public speaking, and more. This year, we had 29 students score high enough to go to the state competition and compete in Atlanta, Georgia, later on this year. The thing about this list is, as I constructed it, what really stood out to me was it never ended. Our life skills scholars learned skills like cooking and sales. Baseball advanced to the second round of playoffs, creating a unique problem for anybody on the baseball team because their playoff game was on prom night. Our business applications class started producing apparel for not only Foothills, but our neighboring schools and community organizations. We formed a STEP club that performed at the Queen Creek celebration of Black History Month. Our student activities club started showing movies out on the football field to give students a safe place to spend their evenings. Our wrestling team hosted a statewide tournament that invited over 30 wrestling teams from Arizona to a 2-day-long competition on this campus. Golf had their first ever athlete qualify for the state tournament. And even with this list, there's people out here in the stands and sitting out in front of me that are going to say, hey, Mr. Miller forgot to mention our program. The things that you guys have accomplished is absolutely amazing. And it's second to no senior class I've ever had the pleasure of working with. You guys should be very proud of everything that you've accomplished. But all of this is not just to look at Foothills and say, what a great place this is. It's more than that. This list, either directly or indirectly, was made possible because of the leadership of the seniors sitting in front of us. Back in 2019, when they arrived on campus, they were building something. They were building a culture of inclusivity and equity. They were building a culture of spirit and connectedness. They were building a community. And when you look at the last 180 school days, when you reflect on the list of accomplishments that we just talked about, this group, the class of 2023, can claim ownership to all of that. This group was so talented that they received over 165 scholarship awards, totaling $2 million in university scholarships, $1 million in educational and military benefits, and $2.9 million raised through the scholarship program Raise.me. In total, this group of students sitting out in front of you has been awarded $4.9 million towards their post-high school goals. So as we move closer to that important moment where this group of seniors in front of me walks across the stage, taking that important step from senior to graduate, I'd like to show everyone here a little bit of what we talked about. This campus is so filled with positive interactions in life, it's hard to put into words. So about a month ago, I asked one of our students if they could put together a video that highlighted our campus and showcases what is that makes this place so special. After it was completed, I had a chance to watch it, and I really had two thoughts. First, I couldn't help but feel an incredible sense of pride for just how much this school and you group of seniors mean to me. Second, much like this speech, as the video closed, I thought to myself, there's no possible way, any video, any speech, there's no possible way that you can summarize what makes Foothills such an incredible place in 5 minutes or less. But that doesn't mean we're not going to try. So I present to you our student-produced and student-edited video that takes us through a very quick journey of the class of 2023's school year. I promise the beginning had some audio too. Hey, in closing though, I just want to say thank you to the class of 2023. When this year got challenging, when we had some hurdles that we needed to overcome, everyone stood up. And hopefully when you think back at your time here at Foothills, and you think of all the challenges that you might have faced, I hope you have the sense that we all, the administrative team, your teachers, your friends, I hope you get the sense that everyone stood with you as well. Because when you leave your legacy here at Foothills, just remember that the show goes on. You will leave here tonight as a high school graduate, ready to take on college, your career, a technical school, military, or whatever it is you want to accomplish. The world is full of possibilities and the choices are yours. But no matter where in life you may end up, just remember, Santan Foothills is a better place today because you were here. The class of 2024 and beyond will benefit because of what you did while you were here. You will always have a home here. You, the class of 2023, will always be Sabercats. Thank you. And now, Mr. Perales, I know there's a group of students who are anxious to walk across the stage and begin a journey into the next stage of their lives. So, Mr. Perales, I invite you to the podium as we conduct the presentation of diplomas. Caitlin Evans, Scholars Diploma. Tristan Lopez, Scholars Diploma. Robert Leone, AP Capstone Diploma. Alyssa Chavez, Scholars Diploma. Jardel Tavimo, Scholars Diploma. Nathan Weaver, Scholars Diploma. Miranda Rivera, Scholars Diploma. Aaron Keem, Scholars Diploma. Isabella Kim, Scholars Diploma. Christian Marciano, Scholars Diploma. Jared Shumway, Scholars Diploma. Pax Andaloro, Scholars Diploma. Megan Ashley, Regents Diploma. Austin Maselli, Scholars Diploma. Aiden Fink, Scholars Diploma. Austin Williams, Scholars Diploma. Serena Ramos, Scholars Diploma. Caitlin Maslak, Regents Diploma. Paige Lincoln, Regents Diploma. Cody Curring, Scholars Diploma. Allegra Abreu. Frankie Acosta. Hosanna Acosta. Mitzi Aguirre, Regents Diploma. Mattia Albano, Regents Diploma. Isaiah Alcala Luquin. I'm sorry. Ray Alcantar.
Kayla Alwine, Regents Diploma. Denver Allen. Juan Alvarez. Vincent Andon. Haley Arambulis, Scholars Diploma. Kevin Arojo Ortiz, Regents Diploma. Eric Armenta, Regents Diploma. Norvin Avila, Regents Diploma. Dulce Abatia Villascas, Regents Diploma. Braylon Barnes, Regents Diploma. Melanie Barraza Felix. Valerie Bautista. Jacob Becerra. Jade Beverly, Regents Diploma. Aiden Brennan. Dominic Brzicki. Caitlin Brooker. Linnell Brooks. Brandon Brown. Joseph Buenrostro, Regents Diploma. Samantha Birch. Valerie Burton. Charlize Cadu, Regents Diploma. Jasmine Cantu. Edgar Caravello, Scholars Diploma. Angel Caria Aguila. Adriana Carson. Santino Chavarin. Lindsay Clark. Tristan Cole. Richard Corrigan. Bo Cotherman, Regents Diploma. Heidi Crandall. Julian Dean. Mia Deason. Elijah Decker. Georgia Drager, Regents Diploma. Alexis Dunn, Regis Diploma. Jadrin Esquivel. Elijah Fields. Cheyenne Fields. Dimitri Finch, Regents Diploma. Jessica Fowler, Regents Diploma. Silas Francis. Araceli Franco Rodriguez, Regents Diploma. Anna Franco Santilli. Alexander Garcia. Nathan Garcia. Regents Diploma. Jonathan Gilbert Jones, Regents Diploma. Ceci Gomez. Justin Gonzalez. Juan Gonzalez Vasquez. Kayla Gray, Regents Diploma. Michael Gray. Logan Gruey. Olivia Golko. Trinity Gutierrez, Regents Diploma. Aspen Haftings. Ronan Henderson. Noah Hernandez. Camille Hernandez Samano. Kyle Holiday, Scholars Diploma. Jeremiah Hollis. Anna Hurt. Tara Highland, Scholars Diploma. Jalen Jim. Asia Johnson. Lila Johnson, Regents Diploma. Lucina Johnson. Dewey Kamlanka, Regents Diploma. Dominic Karlachek. Jonathan Keys. Roy Kimball Martin, Regents Diploma. Mason Labor, Regents Diploma. Charlie Locker. Nathan LeClaire. Neva Lara. Kenneth Lee. Gabriel Lee. Emily Leon. Rhodey Leatham. Ruby Leatham. Victoria Lockyer. William Liu. Dekaya Lubemba. Cameron Lux. Samantha McGallen. Ezekiel Marquez Macias. Alina Martin, Regents Diploma. Mallory Matthews. Adie McCormick. Emmy McKinley, Scholars Diploma. Ramon Melendez. Zachary Melendez, Regents Diploma. Catcher Millward. Jaden Moore. Shariah Moore. Natalie Moreno. Hope Moss, Regents Diploma. Liliana Murillo. Samantha Nathan. Ashley Naomi, Regents Diploma. Nicholas Neal. Justin Ochoa. Angel Ochoa Orahel, Regents Diploma. Isabel Olson, Regents Diploma. Celeste Olvera, Scholars Diploma. Yaneli Oriana. Caitlin Ororica. Abel Ortega. Rogelio Ortiz. Daniel Ousley, Regents Diploma. Jaden Pacheco, Regents Diploma. Nieja Parker. Christian Dave Pasquale, Scholars Diploma. Elijah Perez. Aaron Pham. Naya Pratt. Gracie Price. Ricky Proctor. Olivia Queen, Regents Diploma. Bryn Lewis. Kylie Quinton. Jordan Reed. Regents Diploma. Kaylee Reese. Curtis Reynolds. Ileana Rodriguez. Matthew Rodriguez, Regents Diploma. Tiffany Romero. Mason Rosscup. Brooklyn Ridzak, Regents Diploma. Emily Saldana Castro, Regents Diploma. Miracle Samuelu, Regents Diploma. Alessandra Starks, Scholars Diploma. Violeta Sandoval Torres. Eugenio Sandoval Umana, Regents Diploma. Andrew Santiago. James Shack. Victoria Sierra. Alan Simmons. Jeremy Simpson, Regents Diploma. Camden Smith, Regents Diploma. Jayton Smith. Emilio Soto. Shelby Suzis, Regents Diploma. Isis Spannerkel, Regents Diploma. Anthony Speck. Emily Stearns. Blake Stever. Corinne Zakis. Jonathan Tallman. Anna Tapper, Scholars Diploma. Novea Taylor, Scholars Diploma. Lauren Tennyson. Michaela Texel, Scholars Diploma. Enoch Thomas. Victor Thomas. Donna Topete, Scholars Diploma. Giovanna Trippi. Jax Tubbs. David Tucker. Ryan Vale. Aliciana Valdez. Carlos Vasquez, Regents Diploma. Gabriel Vasquez, Regents Diploma. Jalen Vasquez. Jose Villa, Regents Diploma. Jesus Villalobos, Regents Diploma. Cynthia Louise Ward. Brian Warner. Caden Webley. Jonathan Webster. Lorelei Wilkerson. Hannah Williams, Scholars Diploma. Jalen Williams. Lana Woodbury. Alexander Yepes. Madeline Zepeda Navarro. Avery Zunker. Wilshila Moy.
Yeah, would you? Going back up to turn tassels. So I'd like to say congratulations to all of our graduates, and I also would like to thank the class of 2023 for ending with a science experiment. How many ducks and golf balls can fit in one pocket? The answer is 222 ducks and 8 golf balls. So thank you for answering that question. And now, having walked across the stage to accept your diploma, I'd like to invite Student Body President Bo Cotherman to direct the turning of the tassels ceremony.
Here we go. The winds.
The wind might have already moved some of these, so you should be good.
First of all, I would like to say that there's no better way to end our experience here at Santan Foothills than fighting through some more adversity, because that's all we've done for the past 4 years. So there's no better way to do it right there. Woo! Well, I am Student Body President Bo Cotherman. The turning of the tassel is a modern tradition used to signify a person's transition from a candidate to a graduate. Having received your diploma, I ask that all of my classmates join me in moving your tassel. Senior class, please stand. At this time, please move your tassel from the right side of your cap to the left. Having moved our tassel to signify this accomplishment, I would like to welcome Miss Tammy Quist, Florence Unified School District Governing Board President, to the podium to accept the class of 2023.
Thank you, Bo. Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly acknowledge that this class has met all of the graduation requirements set forth by the State of Arizona Department of Education. On behalf of the Florence Unified School District Governing Board, I accept this graduating class. Please join me in officially congratulating the Santan Foothills graduating class of 2023.
Did you see everyone? They're all gone now.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We were predicting 9:30.
What is it?
Your watch.
What is it?
9:31.
The wind set us back
Yeah.
a lot today.
9:31.
Thank you.